morning and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding forecast, and industry conversation, all in a mix, encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Mafuru.
It's insightful, it's exciting, it's enriching. It's Marketing Edge on TV, a half-hour TV show on the business of brand management and the management of brand business. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of juicy and exclusive industry news on brands, advertising, media, PR, brand and focus, industry conversation, and the entire gamut of integrated marketing communications business. It's a business show with glamour and grandeur. We serve you hot and sizzling with all ingredients in the mix. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest occurrences around brands and in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication.
Now on brand news. The federal government of Nigeria has appointed First Media and Entertainment Integrated Nigeria Limited as consultants to the federal government on the delivery of audience measurement services on Nigerians' media platforms. According to a joint release by the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) and the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria (APCON), the appointment is the culmination of a tender process conducted over the last 3 months. Recall that the federal government earlier this year inaugurated a tax scheme on audience measurement with a view to boosting broadcast media in the country, as well as guaranteeing return on clients' advertising investments and expenditures. Inaugurating the tax scheme virtually in Abuja, the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, said the setting up of the tax scheme would herald the dawn of a new era in the broadcast industry, observing that the drive for digital switchover of the nation's television sector from analog to digital was well underway. The Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria (AAAN) has announced its 48th Annual General Meeting in Congress, an induction award ceremony slated to hold at the Golden Tulip Hotel, Ibadan, Oyo State on Friday 23rd and Saturday 24th July 2021. This was disclosed during a press briefing held at the AAAN Secretariat in Ikeja on Thursday 8th July 2021. Theme: Doom, Gloom, Boom, Where Do We Sit? The two-day event will feature the induction ceremony for new members into the Advertising Association and awards for people who have contributed to the advertising industry. Meanwhile, the AAAN president, Mr. Steve Babayeko, earlier disclosed that the association has constituted a tax team that will report any pitch where the client is refusing to pay the pitch fees, noting that the task force will monitor the pitch processes, report defaulters, and these defaulters will in turn be handed over to APCON. Leading fashion company The Wardrobe Ultimate Concept has unveiled its latest iconic brand Ade Fashion to Fit, a homegrown ready-to-wear outfit specifically designed for the African people. Speaking during the official launch of the brand, Managing Director of Wardrobe Ultimate Concept, Mrs. Adetunwo Awofeso, said the idea behind the Ade Fashion to Fit brand emanated from the need for Africans to pride themselves with every sense of dignity and assurance in their indigenous outfits, noting that a challenge experienced by most Africans purchasing foreign ready-to-wear is eliminated by the new brand. The managing director, who disclosed that the company under the new brand has created a standard body measurement chart for the African body shape known as Afrik sizes, noted that the brand seeks to define the African figure, taste, values, and needs. With the new standard body measurement chart for the African body shape, issues of varying sizes when compared to foreign ready-to-made wear will be totally avoided because at Ade Fashion to Fit, clothes are designed for Africans with strict use of the ideal attributes of the African body. Leading financial services and technology platform Tangerine has officially launched its financial service product offerings. Speaking at the press conference held on Wednesday, July 7, 2021, Head Pensions Tangerine Nigeria, Dapo Akisoya, said, "In under 2 years, we have been able to successfully acquire and rebrand several businesses, firmly establishing Tangerine. We have also made significant strides in repositioning our businesses in readiness for growth by assembling a strong, agile, and experienced team that aligns with our strategic thinking." The company combines consumer insights and cutting-edge technology to improve the financial security of consumers, as well as providing them with a range of carefully tailored products to improve standard of living. McCain World Group has launched a sustainability department and elevated one of its UK executive, Jacqueline Kaminsky, to run it as the global director. In her new role, Kaminsky is tasked with implementing sustainability throughout McCain World Group global business strategy, operations, and culture. Her remits include leading the group net zero transition, developing an internal sustainability education strategy, global partnership strategy, management of the network carbon footprint analysis, and client engagement. Publicis owned Starcom UK has announced it has developed and implemented an industry-first automated media booking bot using intelligent automation called Robotic Process Automation (RPA). This first iteration of the bot is able to book and edit digital and print media campaigns on a daily basis. Built in-house, Abacus automated bot for the amendment to campaigns and upload uses a bespoke technology platform that processes and verifies vital campaign details overnight to ensure scheduled media plans are correct and efficient. The bot process includes verifying media plan data, uploading to campaign booking platforms, trafficking to ad servers, and communicating campaign information to media owners.
Well, that was brand news. Next is brand and forecast after this break.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say it's happy, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you, no do pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Now on branding focus. Before now, incorporating digital into brand ad campaigns used to be done with so much reluctance. The unwillingness used to stem from confusion to slight fear. It was understandable. The internet seemed like a chaotic and mysterious place with danger lurking around every corner. Today, it still appears chaotic to a few netizens. But gone are the days of client reluctance because there's almost nothing to fear about the internet. The same can be said about digital advertising. However, despite the widespread knowledge of the internet, there's still a myth making around among traditionally inclined businesses. While some think that digital media implementation is extremely expensive, others believe that digital advertising doesn't fit into their budget and won't have the same ROI as traditional media. What's more, there is a few who think that only technically smart companies experience digital advertising success. In fact, there is still a vestige of misconception that some brands harbor about digital advertising. They assume that only companies which are technologically savvy can successfully implement a digital media strategy. The expectation is that the company must be an expert in digital and tech to be successful with digital advertising. The reality about digital advertising is completely different from the myth bugs, and misconceptions that some businesses still have. Understanding the reality will allow them to take the necessary actions to find success with digital advertising, drive revenue, and grow their business. Digital advertising isn't expensive. For example, recent studies have shown that a single full-page advertisement in a daily newspaper in the United States of America can cost between $2,772 and $163,422 if they are publications that were really well known, like Washington Post or Wall Street Journal. However, the average cost per click of an ad on Facebook is a mere $1.72. The average cost per click on Google Display Network is under $1. And these channels all allow advertisers to reach people who fit their precise customer profile. Simply put, with low minimums, businesses of any size can utilize digital advertising to reach customers and drive revenue growth.
When I was brand in focus, next is industry conversation, where we have one-on-one interactions with distinguished men and women who have made tremendous impact in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication. Well, last time we began a conversation with the CEO of Papyrus Digital Solution, Mr. Richard Iwenoge. And this week we will be continuing on that conversation after this break.
It's insightful, it's exciting, it's enriching. It's Marketing Edge on TV, a half-hour TV show on the business of brand management and the management of brand business. Marketing Edge on TV is a potpourri of juicy and exclusive industry news on brands, advertising, media, PR, brand and focus, industry conversation, and the entire gamut of integrated marketing communications business. It's a business show with glamour and grandeur. We serve you hot and sizzling with all ingredients in the mix. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
There's been a transition from traditional use of media to, of course, digital. Every business is, adapting to the change. How is Papyrus Digital Solutions Limited, taking advantage of the new normal?
Okay, look, from an advertising point of view, there's no doubt that the world is moving more and more into the digital advertising space. No doubt about it. But you must also put things in context. Advertising by its very nature requires that it's like casting a net. You hope to catch a lot of fish and bring it home. The way it works is, in my personal view, all advertising is important, whether it's digital or conventional. They all have their advantages, they all have their pros and their cons. The digital space, your conversion rate is about 0.25%, which is pretty low. But that's only because we can measure what happens in the digital space. In the conventional space, I suspect it's as low as that as well. So if you take a billboard, people drive through the billboard. A lot of people drive through it. How many of them actually take action? If you do that math, it probably comes to that same 0.25%. So its very nature means that you are going to have to try and reach as many people as possible and hope that a few will come in and a few will take action. So all advertising is good, digital or conventional. However, the audience that seems to pay attention to digital advertising are obviously younger, more digitally savvy, but the older audience are more into conventional media, so newspaper, radio. Thank you. So you must also remember that demographic, there's also an economic difference between them. So the younger ones might not be empowered financially, the older ones are more empowered financially. So you can't do without
both.
You must do both. So in Papyrus, our obviously game plan is to try and advertise on all platforms where possible. Yeah.
Okay. Now I understand that you have some digital products ranging from the one you earlier talked about, Field Mask Pro, Feed Force Automation Service. You have a retail information management system. You have retail engagement and trade communication, and also the retail visibility evaluation. Now, the question is, how do you deploy these digital solutions without foot soldiers on the field?
If you notice the trend in all our products, it all deals with field teams, retail, surveys, things that happen in the channel of distribution for products and for services. Because that's an area we feel technology has not really impacted as much as it should. So a lot of retail engagement, a lot of field survey products, a lot of field team management products, those are the kind of things we do. Our flagship product, Field Max Pro, is really around using technology to manage a field team. But how do we deploy? We definitely do have a sales team. We have a chief operating officer who incidentally is also an ex-MTN person here. So we have a field team, we have a commercial team, they go out and they knock on doors. But more importantly, we try to use digital platforms to expose ourselves. So if you go to our website, fieldmaxpro.com, you can self-start there. You can contact us and we'll come and set you up. We're not limited by geography, by time when you are online. We also advertise Marketing Edge, for example. We advertise on Marketing Edge because we want people in traditional media to also see what we do. So we are pulling the strings from all channels for communicating our services to customers.
Okay. So how much do you think brand owners, are attaching their attention to visibility and evaluation? To what extent do you think it is being prioritized in their yearly budgetary allocation?
Ooh. I think from a budgeting point of view, most companies do allocate quite significant amounts of money for visibility. That would be for advertising, for merchandising in the trade and things like that. The challenge I see is the ability to measure the impact of that spend. So, okay, I don't want to call a name, but so imagine you're a company, you spend say $500 million on merchandising. That should enable you to be visible at retail, because visibility at retail is what enables customers to know that your products are sold in a particular location. But your competitors are doing the same thing as well. So how do you know if your merchandising spend is impactful? Is it giving you the visibility you need? Without an empirical way of measuring that, it's difficult to know if your money is being spent wisely or not. So I think, yes, businesses seem to be spending the money, but I don't think they are tracking and measuring the way they should. Incidentally, it's one of the things Field Max Pro does pretty well, because in the course of a visit, one of the parameters the field team gather in the course of the engagement is to measure your visibility derived from the merchandising elements they see in a certain location for you and for your competitors. And the system will evaluate for that one outlet, for that city, for that state, for the entire country, how visible you are compared to your competitors. And that will guide you in terms of knowing if the investment you're making is useful or not. So it's one of the things we actually think we've solved with Field Max Pro.
Well, there have been an ongoing conversation locally and globally on the increasing budget for digital advertising. Yeah. However, a recent Hardwick report noted that the conversion rate for this stupendous spending is a meager 3%. Now, what is your view on the relevance and effectiveness of digital advertising, in this age?
I actually don't think it's 3%. I think it's much lower than 3%, really. The last statistics I saw, something around 0.25% conversion rate on digital advertising. But it doesn't matter, because it's the very nature of advertising. So digital is a new area, completely new platforms. People are gathering on digital platforms, Facebook, Instagram. You cannot not advertise where people are gathering, because the whole point of advertising is to try and reach an audience. You understand? So it's new. It's not as efficient as we want it to be, but unfortunately, that is the nature of the platform. But the same thing can also be said for conventional media. When you broadcast on radio or television, you reach a huge audience. Very few of them take the steps you want them to take. So my view is it's the very nature of advertising. So a smart marketer will make sure that it does all, because there's an audience there on digital platforms. There's also an audience there on the conventional platforms. You can't do one and leave the other. Yeah.
Okay, so how would you assess the Nigerian marketing and advertising ecosystem in the second quarter of 2021?
I personally think it's coming back now. What we saw in 2020 was an almost immediate sharp decline in advertising spend because of the uncertainties around COVID-19. By January 2021, some confidence started coming back into the market, so you can see just from the activities that things seem to be coming up again. But the second quarter, I'm almost thinking we are back to where we were in quarter one of 2020 in terms of the scale of advertising that we see. So I think it's looking like things are coming back to normal in that space now. Thank God for that.
Thankfully. So we were talking about conversion rate for digital advertising. What would be your views? Like, where will you peg, the conversion rate for digital advertising?
So the different platforms will advise you on what to expect in terms of what they call click-through rates, CTR. So the click-through rate means if you show a material to a certain number of people, how many of them will click on the material? Because clicking on the material is an indication of interest. You want to know more or take action. But it hovers between 0.2 and 0.3%. Then the figure for Nigeria is different from the global figures as well. Actually, the figures for Nigeria is kind of higher compared to the global figures. So where global figures might be 0.2, Nigeria might be 0.3 for some of those platforms. But it's generally in that neighborhood that click-through rates will be around 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. If you achieve anything higher than that, then you're doing really fantastically well on those platforms. It's different for Facebook, different for which platform? Twitter, Instagram. Every platform is kind of slightly different because of the audience they attract. But it's always pretty low. Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about Papyrus digital solutions. What would you say is your unique selling point?
Ooh. I think our unique selling point will be the fact that we've tried to build solutions that takes into consideration the unique challenges of Nigeria in the space we deal in. Why do I say that? Different parts of the world have their unique challenges. So when you build a solution in those parts of the world, you build it with what you know about those parts of the world. In Nigeria, let's take internet as an example. If you leave Lagos, maybe some of the big cities, you know the experience in terms of access to internet is not always robust. So when you build a technology solution that relies on connectivity, how do you think people will, what do you think the experience will be if people use it outside of those big cities? Now, in Papyrus, our flagship product, FieldMax Pro, we expect the salespeople to be anywhere around the country engaging retailers, because retailers don't discriminate whether it's a village or a city. They will be anywhere to sell products. So when you build a technology solution where you promise that you can capture information and that information will be seen in a dashboard back in your head office, sometimes real time, it depends on you having connectivity all the time. So how do you deal with that challenge in Nigeria? Now that's not a challenge if you live in the West, for example, you can relate to, because you can almost certainly guarantee that anywhere you are in most of those big Western countries that you will have connectivity. So the team here built a solution that enables FieldMax Pro to work both online and offline. That's a uniquely Nigerian problem that we know, and we built and optimized for that. Any solution that comes from outside will never think of that, and they'll probably have to start adapting to make it work. Yeah, and that's just one example. So our unique selling point is that we understand the uniqueness of the environment we are dealing in, and we've built a solution that is uniquely built to solve the problem here.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like you to tell us about who Richard Iwenoge is. I'd like to hear from you.
Ooh. I actually trained as a pharmacist. 6 years rigorous training. Came out, did 1 year internship in a hospital. Didn't quite think that was the life I wanted. So I went and did my MBA and got a job as a sales and marketing executive. Started out with a company called Glaxo, now GSK. Moved later to Roche, Hoffman La Roche. Then from there, having grown into a sales manager, telecoms came to Nigeria and I joined them, MTN. In MTN, I started out with sales again, then moved to marketing, then brand and communication. By the time Papyrus came knocking, I was at a point where I thought I needed to do something different. So I'm glad I made a change, and I'm enjoying every minute of it now.
I see. Well, thank you very much for being with us on Industry Conversation. Well, we've been speaking with the CEO of Papyrus Digital Solutions Limited, Mr. Richard Iwenoge. It has been an interesting conversation on Industry Conversation. And that's it on the segment.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand ideal.
Well, that's a wrap on Marketing Edge on TV. Do well to join us again for another insightful and exciting conversation on the program. Same time next week. I'm Ogali Mafuru. Bye for now.